That statement by the acting Interior Cabinet Secretary, Fred Matiang'i, is already receiving reactions from a section of NASA leaders who are interestingly here at the Kenyatta National Hospital to come and visit some of the people they say are their supporters who were injured in demonstrations that began over 3 weeks ago. So, Akisa, I'm joined by Rarieda, Member of Parliament, Otiende Amola, as well as Nairobi's Woman Representative Esther Passaris. Thank you so much, Waheshimiwa, for speaking to KTN News. Let's begin with that statement from the Cabinet Secretary.
No, we don't want to begin with that statement. We want to begin with why we're here. We're here to visit our 4 accident victims, the ones that were run over by a vehicle during the Monday demonstrations. We're here in solidarity with them and obviously to take care of them. But and we're also concerned that the police have not even bothered to record a statement. We're also concerned, and we will be filing a complaint with IPOA, that, you know, we have so many of these complaints that we come up with against the police, including the post-election violence, where we had so many people that died. And yesterday you saw what happened in Kisumu. At the end of the day, I think we need these bodies to actually function and work and give justice to the Kenyan people. Because there's no point in having laws, rules and regulations when people can go to these bodies and they will tire because they don't get the results that they're longing for. Yeah, so that's why we're here, and I'll let the lawyers address the Matiang'i issue. But as far as I'm concerned, it is a democratic right for us to demonstrate. And if there were any people that had damages to their property, it's not because of us. It's because the police had allowed, in the initial stages, this Nairobi business community, or whatever they're calling themselves, right? And even yesterday, you saw NASA held a very, very peaceful demonstration. We were escorted by the police, and we had no issues whatsoever until these Nairobi business people basically came up and started attacking us. And they were tear gas. We were not tear gas. They were tear gas. So we feel it's our democratic right. We still are maintaining that there will be no elections, no elections if there are no reforms. You know, that is the position of NASA. We need the entity of IEBC to be credible, to conduct a free and fair election. And I think every Kenyan wants that.
All right. Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa. You have come to visit some of your supporters who got injured, but it's on that basis that the Cabinet Secretary says they are reining in on the organizers of demonstrations because, according to them, they're receiving a lot of messages and concerns from many businesses within the capital cities of Nairobi, Kisumu and Mombasa, that business is being disrupted by some demonstrators who are supposed to be, quote-unquote, peaceful. Your reactions?
Thank you. First, as you know, I'm joined here by the MP Simbarati and MP Anthony Oloch. We saw the statements by the Honorable Matiang'i, and while we as a coalition share in the concerns that any demonstrations ought to be organized and ought to be peaceful, we do not agree with him that the blame for absence of peace or organization is on NASA. It is indeed on the police. It is important to know that everything that the Honorable Matiang'i sought to address was actually addressed by the court in June this year, in a case that was brought by Moses Kuria, Waititu, and 3 others. The position of the law is very clear. Under Article 37, any Kenyan is entitled to demonstrate, to picket, and to petition. All that you are required to do under Section 5 of the Public Order Act is to send a notification to the police. If you send that notification, you do not require any response from the police, except if, 1, somebody else had booked the venue where you intend to hold that demonstration, in which case the police will ask you to change the date, or 2, if there is any danger to your life or limb as the person who's going to demonstrate. The responsibility to ensure that you are protected as the demonstrator, the responsibility to ensure that other businesses and other Kenyans are not interfered with, rests with the police, not the person giving the notice. It is not true, as Matiang'i says, that the police need to write back to you and confirm availability. The second issue is this. Under the law, a right under Article 37 cannot be constrained, cannot be restricted, except by law. The Honorable Matiang'i is not the law. The law here, it means they must develop legislation and bring it to Parliament and pass it to say that while you have the right to demonstrate, the minister can restrict it where it is appropriate. That the minister can come in and say, you will demonstrate but not come into the business district. For now, there is no such law. The closest law he was quoting, the Public Order Act, does not empower him to do any such thing. Indeed, he betrays himself by saying that he's going to develop regulations. He has not developed regulations. As long as you've not developed regulations, you cannot purport to stop a demonstration and say, I will shortly be developing those regulations. You cannot do that. But there's something else that is more important. It is also important to know, and I think this is very important, that he says that he's going to arrest Norman Magaya, who gave the notification for the demonstrations. Because, in his view, there are other people who are interfered with, including businesses. Two things that are important. One, the responsibility to protect the rest of the citizen does not lie with the person giving the notice. It lies with the police who received the notice. That's number one. Number two, there's some differential standards we are seeing here. You realize that even yesterday, it was not only the NASA demonstrators. There's this nebulous body called the Nairobi Business Community who are demonstrating. No one, at any time, have we seen them being arrested. He has not spoken to why they would not similarly be held to account for holding those demonstrations. So why would you then want to attack, only Norman Magaya? Right. I think it is important to know that what Matiang'i, Minister Matiang'i is trying to do is unlawful and is not supported by law. As far as we are concerned, we are on the side of the law. It was reiterated by the High Court only 3 months back, and our demonstrations will continue peacefully. And we urge the police to come in and protect the demonstrators and other Kenyans' businesses. All right.
Lastly, before I let you go, it would be an error for me to leave without asking this. Tomorrow, you guys are going to be having another demonstration. The CS has said CBD is off limits in Nairobi, Kisumu, and Mombasa. Will you adhere to that directive finally?
Our view is that that directive is unlawful. The Constitution gives every Kenyan the duty to protect the Constitution. We will protect our right to demonstrate under Article 37 and will proceed with the demonstrations.
Thank you very much, Waheshimiwa, for speaking to KTN News. Akisa, those are the reactions from the NASA leaders who are, of course, reacting to the statement by the Acting Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i. They insist the minister is reading Section 5 of the Public Orders Act only to benefit one side without reading the entire clause. So according to them, they're saying the demonstrations continue. It is the police who are supposed to protect the public's property and not the people who call for those demonstrations. So we're going to be seeing how this pans out even as time goes by, Akisa. And even the much crucial and much awaited demonstration continues tomorrow on Friday.